Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another live stream here today, or this evening, I guess. Yeah, I saw there's no upsets in March Madness. It is all the one seeds. I'm not even sure that there was like 212 over 5s, and that's basically it. It's pretty crazy. People are saying it's because of NIL. I mean, NIL is, and also the transfer portal, it's making it to where the mid-majors just get poached every year by the big dogs, and there's such a massive gap between the big dogs and the mid-majors. What's going on, guys? What's up? Trump running for a third term? Yeah, I saw that. I might do a video on that. I don't know. There's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to that. I think it's still very unlikely. He's just too old. He is. I think he's probably looking to see how his administration's going to go, and if it goes really well, I don't know, man. He would have to run as like a VP, but even running as a VP, he's kind of disqualified because of the 12th Amendment. Is Zelensky a total dictator jerk? What is the end game? Should we drop all support for Ukraine? No, I don't think that's going to be happening, especially with what Trump said about Putin today. I think that there's going to be some type of peace deal. And is Zelensky being a dictator? Like in what terms? Like his country is extremely weak. What does he want? His country to completely get destroyed? He has to know that there has to be a peace deal for his country's sake. You think he's toying with the media? I don't know, man. You know how Trump is. If he really want, he obviously doesn't like retiring. Let's be honest. It's been 2 months, way too early to say. I know. It really is, but honestly, dude, I was thinking like, when is the last time we've had actual big news? Like seriously. Yeah, sure, we get the stuff with the ceasefire, but there's been like no crazy big news, I feel like, recently. I don't know. Would you consider doing a video on famous 9/11 victims and or people who almost died on 9/11? Well, like the Mark Wahlberg story? Yeah, I mean, maybe. Maybe at some point. Did you see Alex Jones' video about Candace Owens? Yeah, that I thought that was a really good video by Alex. Of course, people are just obsessed with Jews now. I mean, seriously. And they've been grifting off of it. It's been working, so now they've got RFK and he's being blackmailed by Israel and Jews, and I mean, it's Ian Carroll again, Candace Owens. I mean, it's everything is the Jews, and it's just like, come on, guys. Ukraine peace deal needs to happen. What needs to? Well, I mean, what do you think needs to happen? I think that Putin's going to have to come to the negotiating table. That's what we need right now. We need Putin to agree to a full ceasefire. Zelensky already did. What about the limo explosion in Russia? Was it caused by Ukraine? Since I know, I heard about that. I heard that was fake, though, dude. I did hear that was fake. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that people were tying it to Zelensky saying Putin was going to be dead, and there was a limo explosion. Supposedly that was Putin's limo, but he wasn't in it. Not looking forward to the Tuesday election. Yeah, you know what? I wanted to check that tonight to take a look at that. I don't. What is it, like 83-17 right now? I'm guessing it's probably trending. 85-15. God, I mean, I don't know, man. I've heard there's not a lot of optimism with the Wisconsin Supreme Court, and it's very important. It is so important. That's why Elon Musk is having an event. Elon's having some event tonight. I'm not even sure. Like, I was thinking about that. Do people in Wisconsin really care about Elon, honestly? Like, it'd be better if Trump showed up, but do we really need to go to war with Iran? It's not what I voted for. Charles, thank you for that. Yeah, I know, man. No, what Trump said was a threat. He says it all. He says all these threats all the time. It doesn't mean we're going to bomb Iran. He wants them to come and make a deal on he wants them to make a nuclear deal to not build any nuclear bombs, and we'll ease sanctions or some shit like that. Just like the nuclear deal that we previously had in place that he ripped up back in 2018. Hassan transgender son was on. Oh, you mean Elon Musk's transgender? Yeah, that was a joke with the hair. Oh, the hair. Wait. Then they called Tesla a Ponzi scheme. Well, it's got a high price to earn ratio, so it's a Ponzi scheme. Is there really a video of Ukraine women at a dance with no men? Well, those videos were going viral like a few months ago. There was a few men there, but it was mainly Ukrainian women with very little men, yes. Think we're going to be war with Iran looks almost evident. I guess we'll see what happens with this. I'm not going to have a fun time covering it, but we'll see what happens with this nuclear deal. You think he's making threats? He made many threats against Hamas and really didn't follow through with them when it came to the hostages. Trump post about Christine Welker. Yeah, I saw that. I think I liked that. Hold on, let me update this. This is such a fake poll. 69% of Americans want to basically continue, sustain, or send more military aid to Ukraine. That cannot be true. There's no way Trump would have won if that was true, if people wanted to continue sending aid. Look at this. British police officer playing on a little horsey, a little pony ride on her phone. The royal police, the Britain's finest. This lady playing on her phone during a home raid. No, I don't know if it was a home raid. It was just pathetic. Dude, this is the thing with Trump. Like, dude, if I had the popularity that Trump had, and Christine Welker is talking shit about me, I don't give a fuck. But he's got to go on these rants about it. Do you think we will see a drone strike on a cartel leader? Yeah, I heard the situation with the cartels was escalating today. Maybe by the summer, yeah, it's probably going to be an ongoing thing, I would imagine. Trump and the cartels. The question is, when does it start? Is Daily Wire going bankrupt or shutting down soon, or is it fake news? I don't think they'll shut down. They're losing a lot of power because of their stance with this war, and a lot of people realizing that a lot of Jewish people support Israel over the United States, and so it's been a problem for the Daily Wire because they can't really shake that. Yeah, I'll show the Alex Jones video later, man. Who do you like in the Final Four? Well, I picked Houston. I don't know, man. Duke looks really good. It's unfortunate that Houston has to play Duke. They're 4.5-point underdogs. Yeah, I mean, I think Auburn, maybe, but Florida's looked... But Florida should have lost to Texas Tech, man. I had Texas Tech in the Final Four. That would have been such a good poll. Would have been an amazing poll. It's unfortunate. Is there any way to get measurements on the number of self-deports? It's got to be a huge number, even without the app. Well, yeah, the problem is we don't really know how many illegals were in the country. People say 5 million, 10 million, 21 million. So I don't know how many people have self-deported, and the Trump administration is going to have to come out with a number or something, because there's been a lot of criticism on that. But overall, the immigration numbers for Trump are really good in terms of the approval rating on immigration. You know, Trump doesn't have the amount, they don't have the money needed to deport a bunch of these people, because you have to, there's a long process in terms of deporting these people. And also now it's getting held up in the courts, deporting a lot of them. Like, if they're illegal, they should be deported. But, and even some of these gang members, you've got liberal judges holding them up and saying, no, it's unconstitutional. And these are like criminals that clearly Americans want deported, but they're trying to hold it up. And you look up all these judges' history, they've got partners who are heavy liberals. They've got daughters or sons who donate to liberal causes. They're all very biased against Trump, and so they're making rulings against Trump, and it's just not right. Every single one of them, or I don't say every single one, but whenever they rule on these immigrations and they take out these gang members or something, they say it's unconstitutional. It's always some liberal judge who has some type of past history in which they're liberal, or their significant other is very liberal and extreme, and it's just pathetic that they're allowed to do this. Do you see a scenario where Trump would just go in and nuke Iran off the face of the earth? No. No. Yeah, the Yankees bats. I mean, that's not cheating. But yeah, the Yankees bats is like a huge thing in MLB. They changed their bats and people are pissed off. Wonder if we will go to war with Iran, Israel will fight with us. Well, no shit. No, we're not going to go to war with Iran. We would just bomb them and Israel would fight. Any updates on the Panama Canal situation? Not that I've seen. The last thing I saw was that the CCP denied Hong Kong selling the ports to BlackRock. So I don't know where that deal is currently. You got a new hat, dark camo with Trump's mugshot. Yeah, I got a dark MAGA hat. What a bust that ended up being, man. Dark MAGA. Have you ever hitchhiked? No, I have not. What's the latest on the Wisconsin election? People just got to go out and vote. You know, we don't need to doom on it, but it's not looking good, and it's very important. It is, because you don't want to say, oh, it's going to swing the entire House of Representatives, because it is going to be a 4-seat swing if this happens, because they are going to gerrymander it. So they say, well, you know, based off of population, Republicans are gerrymandering it right now. But honestly, it's not even gerrymandering. The problem for Democrats is all of their support is in very small areas of major cities. So it's really not gerrymandering when we take a district that's very rural, and it's rural, and like five, you know, so there's going to be more rural areas and more Republican areas, because that's how it is. All of the liberal support is congested in very small cities. But what they'll do is they'll still like cut it in half. They'll cut like the city right in half. So the liberals take 2 more districts. But look, it would be a 4-seat swing then, because 2 Republican going to 2 Democrat. I mean, this type of, you would think what Trump would do some type of rally or something, because it is important in terms of trying to keep the House control, and you don't want to lose the House, even if it's by a slim margin, because you don't want the idea of liberals doing this charade because they act like 5-year-olds when Trump's in and they try and impeach him. If they get any type of Congress majority. But I mean, the polls have just not been good, and it's all Republican pollsters too. Now you can say, well, the polls and this is a little, you know, localized election, they might be a little bit messed up, but when it's like average +7 for Crawford, Elon doing a conference in Green. I know he's trying to help in Wisconsin, going to Green Bay. Is there any way Trump could run for a third term? Yeah, but there's problems. Well, no, he actually cannot. Even with it, they'll say, well, it's non-consecutive, but it doesn't matter. They would have to reinterpret amendments, or because the thing is even if you have Trump as a VP to Vance, he cannot run as VP because the 12th Amendment says to be the VP you have to be eligible to be the president, which Trump would not be, as far as I understand it. Is Rasmussen the best pollster right now? Rasmussen is definitely high up. I know they're like top 3, top 4. Atlas Intel basically people would say is number 1 because they've nailed the last 2 elections, I think. But I mean, dude, it's like, you know, these are partisan pollsters. Generally, if the Republicans win, the Republican pollsters are going to do well. If the Democrat wins, the Democratic pollsters are going to do well. But I will say the pollsters have been horribly off on Trump all 3 of his elections, especially the liberal ones, horribly off. They've underestimated him every single time. This last one was not as bad, though. 2024. 2024, you could look at all the polls and conjure up Trump getting to 312 or 306 or something like that because they were all very, very close. It wasn't like Trump was down by 5 and he won. Like the Hillary polls were just outrageous. Even the Biden polls in 2020 with how close Trump had it in those states. Who's the Democrat? Susan Crawford versus Schimmel, the Republican. In terms of the Supreme Court, like the viewpoint on how they're going to rule on certain stuff, Crawford is pretty radical left from what I hear, unfortunately. The BlackRock Panama ports thing is weird. Why would China have sold the ports willingly at all? Well, I think they kind of got bullied into selling them, but they're owned by Hong Kong, so that's like a difference from the CCP. But obviously, the China was not happy with that. Hong Kong was going to sell them, but it was because of U.S. involvement, bullying them out. Basically, they bullied them out by telling Panama, "This is not going to continue. You have to stop this relationship." And the influence surrounding the canal, which is what they always do with their Belt and Road Initiative, they buy influence, and so they invest in infrastructure. So they bought the ports surrounding it to be able to track U.S. supply going from both the oceans to because the canal connects the Pacific to the Atlantic. So that's what they were tracking. And Trump said, "Well, we can't have this." So that's why Trump's like, "Well, maybe we need to send a military in there. I don't know what." But then Panama's like, "All right, we'll get them out. We have an agreement with them, a diplomatic agreement. We're gonna sever it because we don't want the United States coming in here and taking over because they need that toll money. Panama does." So they forced them to sever it, but now apparently the big daddy China is not happy that Hong Kong is selling to BlackRock, or they're selling at all. They will still want a presence there. So I don't know how that situation is going to develop. Maybe it was just a hiccup in terms of the deal. I didn't look it up. It could be just there was a misagreement because it was a $23 billion deal. I don't know. What do you think about the Afghanistan war? Disaster. Middle Eastern wars for the United States? Disaster. No reliance on oil. I mean, yeah, sure, we want the Middle East to have peace in it, but no, there needs to be very little U.S. influence in the Middle East at this stage where we're at now. Do you think crypto will crash again because April 2nd? I don't know. It's hard to say, man. Um, People will say, well, it's already been priced in. It probably will crash. Probably will. More responsible for today's high inflation. Retardio. Come on. There's no way Trump could be irresponsible. The inflation's gone down under Trump's term. Did Hitler die in Berlin? You think he went to Argentina? You heard that he went to Argentina? Yeah, that was a fake thing that somebody posted, just completely fake. They're like, oh well, the FBI has released something saying Hitler died. He's buried in Argentina. No, if you go back to 1944, 1945, it was not a good health situation for Adolf Hitler. Yeah, I can't wait for April Fools. That'll be annoying, honestly. Dude, people just take April Fools way too far and it becomes just a miserable day. It really does. Maybe I should be a Scrooge. Just sick of April Fools. How bad will the Republican Party collapse when Trump drags us into a ground war? A ground war? Fuck that. Now, Trump is not that dumb. Do you think liberal judges blocking Trump's agenda, especially with deportations, would hurt the Democrats in the midterms since it will look bad for yeah, I mean, the midterms are based off of Trump's economy. To me, that's what they're based off of. The economy needs to rebound, and but also they're state races, so different states are going to think different things. So but it is just based off of how well Trump is governing. Dow futures dropped as report says White House mulls global tariff of up to 20% on nearly all trade partners. Nearly all trade, 20%. I mean, listen, Trump really needs to come out and say what he's going to do on the tariffs. If you're going to commit to the tariffs, then you got to commit to them. The wishy-washy stuff. I agree with committing to tariffs because we have to bring manufacturing back. We do. We have to be able to produce all this shit without the need and reliance on other countries. It's going to hurt at the start for sure. But I don't know if Trump is committing to that or some of the tariffs, or he just wants the tariffs off the United States that were on us, so he's doing the reciprocal to get the tariffs off of us. I mean, that's what happened with Vietnam. Yeah, wait, they're ruling on the Alien Enemies Act. Yeah, that's going to be a major. I mean, you'd think with where they're at, it would be a good ruling for Trump, but there was a recent one that didn't go his way. 2026 midterms are 2022 in reverse. Well, they lucked out in 2022 with the fucking Roe v. Wade happening in the summer, the ruling happening in the summer, and then midterms were in the fall. Check Polymarket, who's getting fired first. It's irrelevant. They're all very low. He said he's not firing Hegseth. Yeah, I mean, these are, CBS, a 50-50 is good for Trump. Rasmussen, you could argue that's not amazing because they're Republican, but I mean, these are decent numbers for Trump, these approval ratings. You know what? I want to see what those. I thought they were going to win both of those special elections, but I'm not sure if they're even on here. Yeah, I believe they're going to win both of them. They should win both of them. There's props on the Republican candidates to win by a certain margin, but they may be a little bit close. Trump's lowest approval issue is on tariffs right now. Well, that's because people, it's impossible to deal with people when they look at an economic situation and view it in the span of a week or 2 weeks, or the tariffs are causing the stock market to go down. I mean, come on, this is a 4-year. Really, when it comes to the economy, especially with where the United States is with all of our debt and a $2 trillion deficit, we should be looking at a 10-year, 20-year picture. Now, Trump can't do that because he's in office for 4 years, so he has to narrow it. But like looking at the economy because of a week with tariffs going, I mean, it's just so ridiculous. But no, I understand people are going to do polls, and if it goes down, then people are not going to like tariffs. Can you imagine if the 25% Canada tariffs really go into effect 48 hours? Canada goes, yeah, I think Canada would be destroyed by it within time. I would be longer than 48 hours though. Trump should stop helping Carney. Stop helping Carney in his election fraud. Yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, I think they are going to manipulate that election. That dude, there's no way he would beat Paul Vieira in an actual election. But Trump helping him, it's, you know, it could help the United States. We would rather Carney be in. But I mean, Trump is staying out of the elections in Canada. He just said that he wanted to annex Canada, and it's basically caused Carney to go ahead. I mean, it's not like Trump is telling people to vote for Carney. Start saving your money in a savings account. The chats of consumer spending are not looking good, prob due to constant stimulus without viable growth. I mean, I do have some of my money saved, man. I do. That Trump ends war with Ukraine. Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna happen, man. I know what you're saying. Um, but there's just so much stuff that has to happen. Like to end the war, is it a ceasefire? No, it's not a ceasefire. It's actually, I think it's a peace deal. Oh, it is just a ceasefire. So an official ceasefire, then you think it would shoot up then. Shouldn't have shot up. Maybe it shot up a little bit. April 20th? Yeah. I mean, dude, honestly, if it's just a ceasefire, with what he just said to Putin, it's escalating the potential of a ceasefire. I know it sounds backwards, but it is. Because of you know, you being more aggressive with Putin now. So the hope is that Putin will return and be like, all right, we can do a ceasefire, or at least come to the table and talk about it. Hegseth out. That's a 13% chance of that. Trump acquired Greenland, 10%. Yeah, it's still pretty low. And we just got lightning. Rank last 5 presidents. Trump 1, Clinton 2. Probably Obama 3, W 4, Biden 5. But maybe that's recency bias. Putin wants a deal, not a ceasefire, rearming period. Well, I mean, a cease you would, well, if he wants to just negotiate a deal, I guess that could be done as well. But wouldn't a rearming period help Russia more? Some kind of ceasefire is pretty realistic. It's hard to say, man. There's been so much stuff. 0% chance Hegseth out. Yeah, but that's by, there could be another scandal is what people are saying, what it would be. Obviously, Hegseth is not going to be out just because of this last thing. Yeah, here's Trump stoking the flames of it. A lot of people want me to do it. I'm not joking. Yeah, he seems like he's just kind of trolling, honestly, when he says things like that. Is Trump doing all these tariffs as he was on our side? War might be coming with China. China won't take Taiwan. Maybe just keep sailing to the States. Now, China's not going to invade the United States, but I don't think so, man. I think Trump is just pissed off about these trade deals and wants either better trade deals or he wants things to be produced in the United States. You put Biden over Bush? Well, yeah, also Biden only had 4 years, too. Exeth had nothing to do with the leak. Yeah, but it did happen under his watch, and people already called him unqualified, so you can understand. I mean, liberals are gonna want the Republican, you know, anyone within the Trump administration to be out no matter what, anytime they make a mistake. It's just the reality of it. But no, it really wasn't Hegseth's fault. There really isn't any Barron Trump news. It's just a fucking photo of him, bro. It's a photo of him outside Trump Tower. How is he going to run for third term? It's not a lot. Yeah, I know. It's. There's no point. There's no point. But it, you know, it's an interpretation of the 22nd and the 12th Amendment. But Trump is too old. And if Trump was like 56, I think it probably happened. Didn't Trump make these same trade deals he's saying they are ripping off USMCA? Yeah, yeah, he did in 2020. Yeah. You know, I think with Trump, it's more so he wants more. And also he wants things, it's more so for domestic production, I think, man. Truth is, we all need interest rates to go down after tariffs are set. Once the market goes off, we can invade who we want. Trump's approval all-time high. Well, we don't really want to invade countries now. But no, well, that's what I've said. I've said, you know, all of this turmoil within the economy, it does help in terms of bringing inflation down, and in turn that's going to bring the interest rates down. And then once the interest rates come down, which I've seen with betting, it's probably going to happen in June. So there's another Fed meeting, I think May 7th and then June 19th. So I think they'll come down on June 19th, hopefully. I mean, it depends on the inflation data we get over the next few months, though. Hopefully the inflation keeps coming down. Hopefully we get positive GDP growth as well in the first quarter. I mean, I've heard there's some people saying it's positive, some people saying it's negative. Either way, we'll be able to argue it, but I just want it to be positive. Australia is getting an election, really? Do you think the Doge dividends will come? Well, they would come in 2026 after Doge is over. That's the plan. They want to save the money, and then they would come in 2026. I'm not sure you can really do something like that. This is what I'll say about Trump. Trump wants to radically change something within the American tax ecosystem. Now, whether that's the dividend, which is $5,000 to us because of government savings, which would be, I mean, it would be an amazing thing, or whether it's eliminating taxes on all revenue under 100K, federal taxes, elimination. Trump is going to try and do something, but it's just like, how much can we really do in terms of eliminating taxes? We're $2 trillion in the hole every year. And I know Trump's trying to fix it, and we'll see if it works. I mean, it really is a long-term thing that has to be committed to by both administrations if you want to get rid of this deficit and then in turn get rid of the debt. So I don't know how much he can really do. I mean, but yes, because of capitalism, rich people pay by far, it's not even close. Even if you want to say, oh, the liberals say they should have a higher tax rate, they already pay like 70%, like the top 3% or something. It's crazy. Or the top 10% pay like 70% of the, or generate 70% of the revenue in taxes for the United States. New York, 20%, 25% white. New York City, 25%. Miami's 12%, LA is 25%, Dallas is 28%. Yeah, all the cities are very low in terms of white demographics. And how does that even get changed? Well, it's a massive commitment, and it takes a long time, because you also have to reverse the birth rates as well. Because then you're going to be dealing with the problems within the economy. You don't have enough workers. I mean, that is something that requires, and certainly it's not going to be, I mean, Trump won't even do it. But liberals sure as hell won't commit to something like that. In terms of trying to improve the demographics in the United States, try and get them some, I mean, they're never going to get close to where they were, but I mean, it's a seismic problem, and it requires decades of commitment to policy, which will never happen with our system. RFK Jr. was exposed. Really? By who? Who was he exposed by? I thought people said that Jews blackmailed him, but there was nothing that came out. I mean, it's like, come on. Will crypto drop tomorrow? Well, if the markets are down, if the Dow futures are down, it's going to be an issue. I'm already so fucked on crypto. You know, it's like, just let it keep going down. I don't give a fuck anymore. Just ultimate cope. The problem is taxing the rich so much they know how to hide assets overseas. Well, did you see what Trump was trying to do with that? They were trying to crack down on that, which I think would be amazing if they were able to do that on offshore accounts. And it's not just the rich people that do that; it's also companies that do that. And if you can do that, I mean, that would be a game changer. That might be the game changer for Trump, especially when it comes to the corporations. Want to end birth rate decline, end no-fault divorce. Well, there's a lot that has to happen. I mean, I think it's more entwined with just the young women developing liberalism and going to college. They all go to college now. But also it's the problem with housing, how much houses cost, how much kids cost now. You've got parents that don't want to make sacrifices when they're in their 20s in terms of taking care of kids. They're going to be so depressed in their 40s and 50s. They don't see it yet. But there has to be sacrifice when you're younger, and now you've got all the internet and stuff and the hookup culture, and it's just destroyed everything in the West, especially in the United States. Putin holding, Cody, thank you for that. Putin holding off ceasefire probably because of the troops. France and the UK are trying to sign a deal that puts Russia at risk again. But where are they trying to put the troops? In Ukraine? See, there's no way they're going to have... We're this late into the situation. Those troops would be meant to hopefully patrol a DMZ. Why would they escalate to have NATO troops fighting Russia? I mean, you would think under Biden, then yes. White demographics need to increase or will fail. Well, I know I'm trying to explain how challenging that is in our current political environment. Because even if you run on that you're running at, you're labeled a racist. You understand that. Japan is going multicultural. Yeah, you want to know because their population is in the gutter because they're not having any kids. So what do they do? well, you can get government incentives, but it's more of a cultural thing. That's what people realize. You know, you give all these incentives to have kids, things like that. It's more of a cultural thing, and you have to change the culture in a country that incentivizes having children. But it's not even just like government handouts or anything like that. It needs to be more than that to fix it. Liberals were saying JD Vance did not have a suit in Greenland. Yeah, JD Vance didn't ask Greenland for a bunch of money. Or, you know, it's like, saw a headline, a limo in Putin's motorcade exploded. Yeah, I heard that was fake. I don't know. People were saying that because Zelensky said that Putin was going to die and then it happens, it's probably pretty bad. Did you catch 60 Minutes? Wow, these donations, man. These are some nice donations. Did you catch 60 Minutes tonight? Them crying about how Trump is going to shut down PBS and NPR. Ridiculous. No, I never watched 60 Minutes, honestly. 60 Minutes had like a few good shows where they do kind of go in depth, things like that. Christian, thank you for the $50. Normally, normally I don't get that big donations except from the whale. Would you ever debate a liberal debater like Dean Withers? Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Debate culture. Thoughts on Duke versus Houston? You predicted Houston. Yeah, well, I'm a little bit concerned about that, honestly. I don't think Houston's gonna win, man. But it's better because if Houston wins, my bracket will finish in the 99th percentile. You think if a Democrat wins in 2028, China will invade Taiwan? I don't think it has a huge impact either way. Democrat versus Republican. I think a Democrat would probably give Taiwan more free money than a Republican would at this stage where we're at. The baby whale entered the chat. Oh, the whale just upped him. The whale just upped him by a cent. Oh, man. An amazing moment. But no, seriously, Christian, I appreciate it. The whale, Sean, thank you, man. Would you ever do a podcast? Dude, there's no way I would start a podcast. There's just too many of them, and it's a waste of time. I'd rather just do YouTube videos. I mean, that's Joe Rogan was even talking about the amount of podcasts there are now. There's just too many podcasts. Also, it's like, I don't think it would be good in podcasts. I would be good in podcast form. Like, it's the same thing as my YouTube videos, except it's just like longer, I guess. I don't know. Appreciate the stream. Hey man, this is a weird one, man. I'm surprised how many. It seems like there's a lot of viewers and stuff. Guys, make sure you like the stream. Normally, when I come on randomly, just like this, and just there's no news or anything, it normally doesn't get a lot. Fox is doing some kind of massive breaking news on Wisconsin Supreme Court ruling. Well, I mean, the Supreme Court election is on Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's the 1st. Oh, that'll be great. It's on April Fool's Day. Japan has a culture of porn addicts and middle-aged adults who stay in the room 24/7. I mean, I think that's most of the West in different forms. Look at OF in the United States. Look at OF just in the West in general. Will you cover Canada election night? Yeah, I'll definitely cover that, just because it does impact the United States. It honestly does. You know, maybe I'll give a prediction, but honestly, Carney was at 70-30. It's come back down. I didn't know he got up that high in terms of. Oh, yeah, I did tweet about that. Wait, let's see what I was tweeting about. Oh, that Harry Enton guy. Yeah, people. Somebody sent me this in my email. But honestly, I don't even know. I just posted this because it gets engagement. Modern women, selfish as hell. I don't know anyone who's happy with kids. Come back to me in 20 years. Carney is up to a 70% chance of winning. He can thank Trump if he wins. Acquiring Greenland is unpopular, apparently. Oh, this was bad. This is not. You do not want to drink this. Yeah, this was really bad. You know, they come out with these new flavors. You think, oh. What exchange do you use for crypto? I onboard through Kraken. I don't have a sponsorship with them or anything. I just use Kraken onboard. And then Phantom for Solana, Uniswap for Ethereum. Which of the two of the wars do you think will more likely happen? An Iran war or drug cartel conflict, border war with Mexico and the cartels? Well, I think the cartel war is going to happen pretty much no matter what. The Iran situation hopefully can be avoided, but some people think it can't be avoided. They think Trump is in. There's going to be a. I mean, right now Israel has heavy U.S. support because of Trump, and so they feel confident enough to engage with Iran. I mean, it depends what you mean by war with Iran. Is it just we're bombing them, or how much support are we giving Israel? It depends on how escalated it gets. Gen Z will be the most right-wing generation since pre-World War II. Young right men are being radicalized due to the current agenda. A great shift will occur. Yeah, I mean, maybe that ends up happening. I mean, but the problem is with the demographics now. You wonder if that's enough to offset all the immigration. Should I go outside? Yeah, I didn't end up doing it. People told me, no, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. No, but seriously, people, it is good to go outside. There have been discussions of JD Vance running as president with Trump as VP and then switch. Yeah, I know. This is what I talked about like 3 weeks ago or whenever. This is how it would probably be done. Come on. Christian, Christian, thank you. $100. We'll call it $100. Love the content. Keep it up. I appreciate that, man. Seriously, that's you gave me a $50, $100. This is impressive. Candace Owens just hates Jews. Well, she's obsessed with them, and this is what these people do. They get tunnel vision. And that's what Alex Jones was talking about. When is 9/11 Iceberg Part 2 coming out? I don't know, man. It's going to take a while to film that. Honestly, it's going to take a long time. It might be, I'm doing this video regards to Bush and 9/11. That's going to be coming out hopefully this week. But I only recorded a minute of it yesterday. I couldn't do it because I was like very tired yesterday. I do like the outside temperature, especially in the spring when it's like 50, it's like 60 degrees, and it's always wet out in the spring in this climate in Ohio. But there is something nice about it. But now apparently it's going to be very cold the next week or so. It's going to be in the 30s. It's going to be in the 30s and 40s. I'm not kidding. That happens in Ohio. It does in April. Here in the UK, it's insane how weak and pathetic our government is, how bad our democracy has fallen, is insane. So many people are getting locked up for free speech, and so, well, yeah, that was the whole thing. That was really, like, it's, we were, Americans were shocked by that, and we were like, well, it had to be fake. They're not getting locked up for emojis. But yeah, but didn't Starmer come out and admit and say, yeah, I'm trying to stop this, but they're going to be prosecuting white men. They're going to be getting more severe sentences than minorities. That's come out. That's real. And they're apparently, Starmer's trying to stop it now. What an absolute mess. So they're racist against white people there. They're giving white people harder, harsher sentence, white men. Here's the town hall. Elon, dude. Elon with these numbers are hilarious.
I was like, my security team.
What is that? A space force? I mean, what is that?
From yesterday to today, we're down from 18,000.
I don't know, guys. If you want to go listen to that, you can go listen to it. I'm not gonna play this, but oh, that looks pretty nice though. I like that. That's that screen. We need an April surprise in Canada with Carney's links to Epstein. Yeah. Well, it depends if something comes out. You know, I don't think Trump is going to want anything released on Epstein if it has any relation to Carney, because Trump wants Carney to win. Wow, my lip is bleeding. Yeah, the whale war. The first whale War One. Whale War One. You doubt Starmer is trying? Me too. I mean, I don't like Starmer at all, but I just saw that he did an interview about it. Elon must be losing X followers. It's impossible. There's too many. You have to like, when you create your account, like the first person, like, you have to follow Elon. You've got to follow Elon. Last one, the Jew stuff isn't an obsession, just noticing their involvement in all facets. Yeah, no, I understand it. Trust me, I understand it. I've done videos regarding that, but there seems to be a constant theme with people to where it's just every single thing is about it. And that's really what Alex Jones was saying. But even the RFK Jr. stuff, like, do we even know that's true? I mean, Ian Curl came out and said, well, we know, and this is going to break this weekend. I mean, where is it, bro? Come on. Like, at what point is it, people are just like, and look, I know you gain a following, you gain a fan base, it's cool, that you want to keep doing the same stuff, but it's like, oh, they're blackmailing RFK Jr. It's going to break this weekend. It's coming out. I mean, RFK Jr. is about health anyways. I mean, what military, how is he going to influence Trump in any military capacity? You're late. You're late. Can you stay on an extra 30 minutes? Oh, how's World War IV coin doing? That's you got to front run that coin, man. You might have to wait, like, I mean, imagine, I mean, I don't even know when, hopefully World War IV never happens. I'll never see World War IV. World War IV is the ultimate Armageddon. Didn't you literally do a whole video on President Trump has an Israel problem? Yeah, that was because he does. I mean, I admitted it. But, like, people want me to keep talking about it constantly? It's like, I can't keep talking about it 24/7. The whale. The whale responds 250. Whale War 2. Whale War 2. Oh man. That one might be an atomic. That one might be an atomic. That's Hiroshima. That's a 250 burger. That's a 250 bomb. I know people are just bewildered that I get donations like this. Oh man. The whale responds. Piers Morgan loves Trump meeting with Bill Maher. Yeah, it's the constant. You know, it's the constant. Oh, we got to talk to both sides. Grift. I mean, I understand it. It makes sense. Oh, Christian. We got a whale war 2.0. We got a whale war brewing. That's it. $300. That might be a new. That might be a like a one of those Russian bombs. That's one of those bigger Russian atomic bombs they have now. I don't know why people donate me this. Honestly, I don't. When is Bill Maher meeting Trump? I don't know. Hydrogen bomb. It's an Israel bomb. This is this is APAC level money. Spend it on crypto live. That's not how it works. I can't even. No, I don't even have access to that money until it would be until actually because it's the end of the month, the 21st or the 20th, like the third week of next month. GTA content coming. I'm not doing any GTA content. That would not work on my channel. No, man, come on. But I hope that GTA is it comes out soon for my coins. Like, look at these two guys. It's like it's a joke. Beto O'Rourke. When was this dude relevant? Like 2018? Do you think it's true Israel told Trump to primary Massey? Well, it's because Massey is anti-Israel. I mean, dude, like this whole thing. Yes, we know Trump is. We know Trump is in bed with Israel, guys. We get it. What do you want me to say? I admitted it in a video, but it's like, it's not good. I'm not saying it's good. Sounds like you need to set your max donation level to a bigger number. I mean, I think that's I think YouTube probably caps it. YouTube had to nerf me. YouTube nerfed me. No, they cap it at a certain level. They like you can't donate like $30,000 or something. No, they have to cap it at like 1,000 or something. Hearts of Iron 4 content. Yeah, I was thinking of doing something about that. I don't know if I will. Social Security is a huge problem. Yeah, I know. We could have a good conversation about it. Maybe not tonight though, but you know, I've looked into Social Security. It's something has to be changed with it. Trump knows something has to be changed, but it's so unpopular to try and do anything to it electorally. I think Trump is wondering, should I do anything? If you're going to do something about Social Security, it needs to happen right now. It can't happen in the back half of his second term, because it's a problem in terms of electability. You have to like get all your ducks in a row right now. That's why Trump's doing all these tariffs right now. It's better to do it right now and set everything up for the future of your 4 years, rather than like you would have to really look into Social Security. I mean, Social Security is going to be a problem whether we like it or not by the 2028 election. It's going to be a huge thing. And I think that American people are going to realize that, yeah, we have to change how we do Social Security. Like, we have to physically change whether it's investing the money that is made through Social Security rather than keeping it in just accounts. Or do something to where, I mean, Social Security, maybe you just allow people to keep their money rather than take the 6%. Your content works for people who don't use X. Yeah, you're right, because I'm always on here. Rapid response. You look forward to meeting Bill Maher, Kid Rock, and the legendary Dana White. So it looks like that meeting is happening soon. It was set up by Kid Rock, I guess. Did you cover Putin's limousine? No, I didn't. I gotta look into that. That's my 500 limit. All right, man. I appreciate it. It's you've given a lot. I appreciate it. You are the whale. You are the ultimate whale, the white whale. Putin's limo got blown up. Yeah, but I heard it was maybe not. It was like one of his limos got blown up or something. And Zelensky said Putin was gonna die soon. I don't know, man. It's interesting. Trump 2028, only Trump 28. Yeah, I mean, you're obsessed with that, I know, and you're probably loving what Trump said today, but it's still not likely, man. What are you gonna do with the donation money? I mean, just probably just save it. I mean, I do have to make some investments at some point. Thoughts on the Ghibli memes? Yeah, I mean, it's a cool AI little drawing thing or whatever, like cartoon type deal. You think Trump made more third term comments on Air Force One an hour ago? I wonder if they have it. No, they don't. No, it's just a freaking thing. Yeah, Trump entertains this, but I don't think it's really real. I mean, but you can't really take it seriously right now. Why don't you like pineapple pizza? Because pineapple just doesn't vibe. The pineapple, the juice of the pineapple with cheese, it just doesn't work. You had to bet a boxing match between MTG and Jasmine Crockett. Who would you bet on? I mean, Jasmine Crockett's a crazy bitch. I don't know. I think MGT could get her in a chokehold or something. Wisconsin Supreme Court just ruled Elon can keep giving away $1 million to voters. Well, that's such a non-issue anyways. I mean, honestly, it's kind of weird. Like, you just giving money to people to vote Republican. I mean, but the Democrats do it all the time via proxy. Musk is just more open about it. Fruit on pizza saturated the crust and ruins the structural integrity. There's some sag to the pizza, I think. It's called sag. You got that reference, but all the Trump 28 supporters ready in primary 28. Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll see what happens. But bring Obama back. Obama versus Trump. I did a video on it. I said Trump would win. Trump Air Force One. Yeah, somebody told me to spell it. They say it's bad optics. Well, I just think Trump's going to be too old, but...
You said you were not joking about a third term, about possibly wanting a third term. Does that mean you're not planning to leave office on January 20th?
I'm not looking at that, but I'll tell you, I have had more people ask me to have a third term, which is in a way a fourth term, because the other election, the 2020 election was totally rigged. So it's actually sort of a fourth term in a certain way. I just don't want the credit for the second, because Biden was so bad, he did such a bad job. And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm popular, if you want to know the truth. I think I'm popular because we've done a great job. I think we've had the best almost 100 days of any president. And most people are saying that. And it's an honor. We're bringing back our country. We're respected as a country again. And we're strongly respected. And people are amazed. I was with some very important people today, and they said that they've never seen a turnaround of a country as fast as this. Even look at our border. We have nobody coming in. And you can come into our country, but you have to come in legally. But we have nobody coming in to our country. It's almost shut down. They've never seen anything like this.
Is that an appropriate precedent? Limits a president to 2 terms. Is it your understanding that they have to be?
I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just telling you, I have had more people say, please run again. They said, we have a long way to go before we even think about that. But I've had a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead. Did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do you think that's an appropriate precedent to set, even if it wasn't you in this position, to see a president serve a third term?
I don't want to talk about a third term now because no matter how you look at it, we got a long time to go. We have a long time. You know, we have almost 4 years to go. And that's a long time. But despite that, so many people are saying, you've got to run again. They love the job we're doing. Most importantly, they love the job we're doing.
So you said you were
Yeah, he's really sidestepping the question. Like, he's acting like he's going to do it, but he doesn't want to answer it right now. You asked him to run in 2028. We support you. I'm sure a lot of people do support him. But it depends how he ages. You know, they would have to do something to reinterpret the 12th and the 22nd Amendment. But even the 12th, people are not understanding that. The 12th Amendment, because they're trying to get Trump to run as a VP to Vance, and then Vance will immediately step down and Trump will take over. Because, you know, the 22nd Amendment, it doesn't say anything about running as VP. It just says you can only serve 2 terms as a president, but if you run as VP, and I think technically you can serve 10 total years legally. But the 12th Amendment says Trump would be ineligible to be VP because he can't be president because he's already served 2 terms. So I don't know. You do a video on China buying land near bases. I mean, listen, if it's important, I'll do it. That should have been nipped in the butt, though. I thought that wasn't allowed anymore. Yeah, I'll play the Alex clip. I'll play some of it. It's like a 7-minute clip. Alex is just in the freaking woods, just...
I'm out here hiking Saturday morning, met with my buddy Sean, and we were both already on X watching Candace Owens and Ian Carroll. Literally watching the same video of him talk about Candace, then we just hiked for an hour or so, and we're listening to her. And so I'm just gonna respond to this. I think Candace Owens is a great person, super smart, super funny, super witty. So is Ian Carroll. And I think all the investigations they do and the things that they research are really helpful to society. And they're coming from what they do from a place of really trying to make the world a better place. And we really should have open debate about everything. That said, this whole RFK Jr. thing with, there's these women and people at events and he's with women and if this is going on, there's this writer over here that, attacked Candace Owens and, Rabbi Shmuley, who is a demon. And I don't like the fact that Kennedy sits there and says nice things about him. It's ridiculous. So
yeah, Kennedy is out taking pictures, partying with Rabbi Shmuley. That's where they. I mean, it's not a good look.
So you do have to ask what's going on there. But Kennedy's always supported Israel. And me personally, I don't like the whole Palestinian thing and Iran and Hezbollah, and I also don't like the stuff Israel's doing. Israel clearly stood down on October 7th. You know me, I don't think that's the biggest
Israel
problem in the
stood
world.
down.
I spent some of my time on it, but millions dead in Ukraine, Europe, the UK, and France openly sending troops now to fight Russia, and Putin saying it'll be a bloodbath. We're ready for total war. That's getting about 1% of the coverage of just this total Israel obsession. So from my perspective, I'm just so sick of being on air 30 years and people always being obsessed with Israel. The Christian Zionists that just worship it and think it can do no wrong, no matter who's in charge there. The other side that just thinks everything's run by Jews. I'm just freaking tired of it, okay? I got attacked by the Israel lobby. I got attacked by the Nazis. I just can't stand any of it. What I'm into is policy and real results. The fruits of the tree, as Christ said. I'm a Christian. And if you look at what RFK Jr. is doing, they killed the new COVID shot rollout. They just fired that guy at HHS that was trying to block stuff. They've already put the notice in that all the thousands of chemicals that are in foods that have this grandfather clause that they can be poisonous and deadly and addictive, and there's no testing or no rules, that's being taken out. And they're all starting to pull the garbage out, the poison dyes, all of it. They're going after aspartame. They're going after...
All right, well, that's basically what I
want.
wanted. I'm not going to watch the full 8 minutes, but... No, I remember when I was younger, I used to watch Alex more, but... It's good he's back on X. I don't know why I'm itchy now. But yeah, they said Alex was on Ozempic, but Rogan was in a podcast with someone, and he was saying no, he just did it. He just lost all the weight. That's the thing now. If you're fat and you lose weight, you'll get accused of being on Ozempic. Pretty much everyone is. Ozempic has some really bad side effects, I've heard. Netanyahu endorses Trump's White House deportation, anti-Israel. Yeah, I mean, the deportations, that's another thing. It's not good. Ozempic is straight poison. I just don't know what the exact... we don't know the side effects long-term of Ozempic, but I've heard it has some serious negative side effects. Megyn Kelly. Yeah, Megyn Kelly did get very thin. I agree with you. I don't know what it was. How old am I? I'm 25. How bad will the auto tariffs be? You know, I read somewhere they're not going to be as bad as people think, and that some of the tariffs aren't even going to be based off of the protections within the trade agreement between the United States and Canada. There won't even be tariffs on some of the stuff. But this all depends on what Trump does on April 2nd in terms of how he revises everything. But to be fair to Trump, he did say the auto tariffs are going to be in place as 4 years. But we know that he'll say something one day and then do something different the next with the tariffs. So it's very hard to get a good gauge. Kind of scary thinking about Dems doing the same thing, paying incentives for people to vote. I mean, they already do it. It's, dude, if you're donating to like a think tank, or you're donating just to Act Blue or something, all of that money is basically them. You're paying for people to vote. I mean, because all of it goes to Democratic causes. It goes to ad campaigns for certain Democratic candidates. Republicans do it. Democrats do it. They all do this. Everyone does it. Democrats do it a lot more than Republicans, and that's really the context that people need to understand in terms of the amount of money, big money involved in politics. It's always Democrats, way more. And it's, by the way, it's like 5-1. This is not close when it comes to the amount of money that these parties take in, Democrats versus Republicans. The total number I think was like 1.2 billion versus like 300 million or something. When it comes to the campaign funding that Kamala got versus Trump, they always take in more. But I mean, Musk just does it out in the open. What is the new USMCA deal going to be? I think it's going to be either probably later this year, but supposedly in 2026. But I think they're going to renegotiate it because of the tariff situation. Don't get too excited about Schimmel. Yeah, well, he's probably not going to win anyways. Wisconsin is more of a liberal state. I mean, I think Wisconsin's pretty much a pure swing state, but it's just when it comes to these off-year elections, it's very bad for Republicans. And I mean, it's a very big election, so they got Musk there. Trump endorsed Schimmel. But is it enough? That's the question. I mean, they you know, it's like 87-13. The polls say it's like a 5 or 6 point, like a 7-point advantage. Musk is a worse look than Soros. Well, the reason would be because Musk does it in the open. Soros does it behind closed doors. But Soros has had way more of an impact, I would say, you know, with all of his years in politics than Musk has. And there's more big liberal money than conservative money. What if these companies just wait for Trump to fold on tariffs, or until a Dem gets in and removes them? Is there a way to force companies to come back? Well, to be fair, Biden kept the tariffs on China. So the thing is, tariffs over time will pay off. So I'm not sure. It depends what kind of, if they are very radical tariffs, then Democrats might, I mean, I think Democrats for sure would try and, you know, take them off of China, or not China, Canada, to improve our relationship if the tariffs were still on. But at a certain point, I mean, within 4 years, this is why you do the tariffs at the start of it, not at the end of it, because even if a Democrat won, you would start seeing the domestic production come back, and the tariffs would be hopefully doing their job. They would either be generating revenue if the American companies still want to outsource, so then the tariff is charged on the American companies, and then the money is a revenue source for the government. Or you get the domestic production and you get the jobs, higher quality jobs, and at that point, you would already have the domestic production, so it wouldn't make sense to remove the tariffs unless it was so outrageous in terms of the domestic prices that it would just make too much sense to not outsource it. But Trump, I agree, you have to get manufacturing up in the United States, especially when you compare our might to China. It's not even close. I mean, we've outsourced so much because it's cheaper. Well, it's not a long-term healthy solution at all. Like, at a certain point, it's going to catch up to. It's like, if you keep eating shitty food, eventually you're going to get fat. If you keep doing this to where you outsource all this shit, it might not hurt at the beginning. You start eating bad, it might not hurt the first few weeks, but eventually, over a long period of time, you're not producing anything as a country, you lose significant power. The court said Musk can do it. Yeah, I know, but it still is a bad look, honestly. But I mean, again, there's so much big money in politics, and the Democrats do way more. They have way more big money in. You donate to Act Blue. I mean, it's all the same type of shit. Musk has a lot of protesters at his event. I'm sure he does. I mean, those people are clowns. You know, I saw one of the Musk protests where they were dancing. I swear, these are like 50-year-old white women just all dancing. They're doing this pathetic dance about, and they're angry at Tesla, and it's all the same type of person. Musk is a G. He's trying to ensure humanity's survival while Soros hates humanity. Well, I mean, that's a more conservative versus liberal. It just makes sense that that would go that way. You had a dream that I was being chased by a trans Godzilla. I have a feeling you're making that up, man. If you actually had that dream, I'm pretty impressed, but I think you're making that up. I gotta take the caps. Dance against Doge. For sale, Tesla.
Here's the deal. You need to get out of people's faces. You need to get out of people's faces. You need to get out of people's faces. You're in my face. Get out of my face. Come to me. Because you're in everybody's face. That's why. Because you're in everybody's face. You are in everybody's face. Leave us alone because you're people here to lose their jobs. We're working for Tesla. You know what? You're putting words in people's mouths. That's a ridiculous
I'm asking you.
No, that's not the point. The Tesla owner is Nazi. That's the point.
Granny on a power trip. Yeah, Joe Rogan saying a lot of them are losers. I mean, it's just, you know. But this type of stuff, you know, if I was Musk, it is what it is. I mean, watch today's Tesla protest, no cap on God posted. Yeah, I've seen that dude's content before. He did the content at the DNC. Remember that? They watch Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel a lot. Rachel Maddow. Yeah, they'll watch MSNBC. You know, it's Blue Sky. I'm sure Blue Sky is just a total cesspool for liberals. People are upset. These people are obsessed with the issue of climate change. That they have no problem attacking electric vehicles. Make it make sense. Yeah, and you've seen some of the stuff that's come out about climate change and the money that's supposedly, a lot of it's money laundering. When they put, you know, when they have climate issues and stuff like that, a lot of that money just are like, oh, we invested in a clean renewable energy sources, things like that. I mean, so much of it's total bullshit. And where is the actual? I mean, this is what we always ask. Where's the China obsession? You'd think they'd be obsessed with China and India for the amount of pollutants they put into the air, but they never talk about that. It's always the United States, even though we've leveled off our CO2. But it's not enough for them. What will her reaction be if Trump wins in 28? She would lose her mind. She might have to join Rosie O'Donnell in Ireland. Do you trust news on X? I mean, it's not the most reliable thing, obviously, but dude, it's an easy news source. X, obviously, there's gonna be things that are false. There's things that are true. You're gonna get that anywhere. You're gonna get that with mainstream. Truth Social was looking good for the first few months of its existence. You really think that? I mean, dude, if it's owned by Trump, with Trump's name on it, it's going to be a conservative MAGA. It's going to be a propaganda site. You're not going to have that the balance that X is. Yeah, let's see if anyone's tweeting about this. What is this rally? Yeah, I hear that Paul Vieira is drawing really big crowds. I want to see Carney's crowds. Dude, why would anyone go to a Carney rally? The guy is just... It's got to just be all manufactured support. What's happening? What's up, Jason? What's going on? Your brother is a boom operator on a refueling tanker, and he told me this morning we're probably going to conduct a massive air campaign on Iran. I mean, you got to be I don't know. You might be trolling. I don't know, man. Hopefully not. But I mean, Trump's been threatening them, so I could understand why he would say that. You want Carney to win, but the momentum is with Paul Vieira. Yeah, I want Carney to win too. Carney's people will still buy this election, probably. You would go to a Carney rally? Yeah, I endorse him. I endorse him for PM. This is not even a poll, though. I search for a poll and they give me Polymarket. Trump's policies are making you financially... this is a retarded poll. How can you... But there's no point in judging Trump based off of this. It's ridiculous. It's an irrelevant poll. You don't grade a president based off of 2 months. They were trying to say, oh, they're deporting too many illegals, or people, they support this shit. I mean, it really should be like 70-30, but you know how it is with partisan shit. And immigration +6, economy -4, inflation -12. I mean, how is Trump -12 in inflation, guys? Come on, my fellow citizens, let's think about this. Inflation's gone down under Trump. Jeffrey Roth guy is really, yeah, the lawyer pushing Alberta independence stuff. I know. The lawyer. I mean, until they have a meeting in DC, which I think is going to happen, we'll see what happens with that meeting if it does take place. The Greenland poll, there's no good Greenland polls, honestly. Thoughts on Mark Zuckerberg with Mr. Beast? Yeah, Zuckerberg's trying to rebrand as this cool libertarian. relatable white guy. Am I a soup guy? Not really. I mean, I like potato soup, but potato soup is good. I'll be honest. Potato soup with rolls and bread. It's you put it on bread. It's good. Juan, what's up, man? Juan. Iran can't fight against the United States. I know. It would be bombing campaigns. It wouldn't even be fighting necessarily. Does Ian Carroll have files on RFK Jr.? I don't think so, man. Ian Carroll said something was going to come out this weekend. Where is it? I mean, it's like, look, you know, these people. It's the Israel obsession. They're saying Israel and Jews are blackmailing RFK Jr. All one seeds in the Final Four. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. I mean, my bracket is like it's doing well, like because I have 3 out of the 4 teams, but it's 86th percentile. I mean, if Houston wins, then I'll be in the 98th or 99th percentile. That's the bottom line. If they lose, then obviously it's not going to go well. But like, it's just it was so chalky. Why do they not have Auburn here? I don't know why that is, but yeah. I mean, I don't really love Houston against Duke just because Duke's been playing so well. 4.5. It's not a bad spread for Houston. Houston's got great defense. Duke could beat them, or Houston could beat Duke. It's just, I wonder what this spread is. Let me just look at this. 2.5 for Florida. I like Auburn to win that game, honestly. Florida should have lost to Tech. Man, dude, I had Tech in the Final Four. Imagine if Tech was able to hang on. I'd have all the Final Four teams with a 3 seed predicted. It's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? Search up polling graph for the Canadian election. Man, they seriously do have the Liberals getting the majority pretty easily. 194, you need 172. Wow. I think Paul Vieira is going to win. Oh, here it is. Dude, it is pretty crazy that British Columbia possibly will go, it's like 50-50 liberal conservative. That's pretty crazy because I know there are conservative parts of British Columbia. Saskatchewan and Manitoba, conservative, but not at the level that we would want it. Alberta, clearly conservative. Ottawa, liberal. Atlantic Canada, liberal. Quebec, liberal. Wow. You guessed Jay Billis was right with the 1 seeds. I know, but I still think that's a clown move. You can't do that. Come on. I mean, this is the second time it's happened since 2008. But everyone always does. Some people always pick all the 1 seeds because they're the best teams. But there's going to be upsets. Hey Kai, thank you for that. I appreciate it, man. Cooper Flag is not going back, bro. There's no way. Carney wins, Alberta leaves. That would be ideal. I mean, you can't say for sure, but it would move it. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. But even British Columbia was really going conservative until recently. Saskatchewan. And it looked like Paul Veer was going to win basically everywhere. And then recently it's just fallen off the table. I don't know who that is. Predicted all 8 Elite 8 teams. Well, all the Elite 8 teams were the 1 and the 2 seeds, bro. Wait, that's not true. Because Texas Tech made it. Yeah, but they were all 1 and 2 seeds except for Texas Tech. But I guess that is kind of impressive because I didn't predict that. How many Elite 8 teams did I have? Wait, hold on. I had 1. I didn't have Michigan State. 2, 3. 4. Did I have 7 out of 8 Elite 8 teams? I think I had 7 out of 8. Yeah, the only one I didn't have was Michigan State. But it is like, you know, these are chalk matchups, basically. Dem's going back to the Trump warmonger talking point. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens with Iran. You know, they would have a legitimate beef if with the Iran situation, and that would anger a lot of people. It just depends how aggressive he is with Iran. As for, like, him being a warmonger with what, Greenland? Is that what they're talking about? Lots of pollsters got exposed for being liberal staffers for PMs and operatives for the Liberal Party in the past. Currently, some of those libs having beef on X. Yeah, so a lot of those polls are bullshit. I mean, it feels like Paul Veer has significantly more support in Canada. And, like, this recent boost is... I mean, I can understand, like, a slight boost because of Trudeau stepping down. But this is starting to seem a bit fake. But, I mean, I hope it happens, honestly. It'd be better. What days do you stream? I stream mainly on, like, most days, but some nights I decide not to stream on. It just depends, but most days, like 70-80% of the time. Will you stream the Final Four? When is the... I mean, I might be live that night. I probably will be live that night. 6:09, 8:49. I'm more interested in the Houston game, just because I have Houston winning. Trump white approval rating plus 14. Hispanic is already minus 17 after that early honeymoon we had. Really? Independent minus 15. These independent people, man, you try and reason with them. It's like, guys. Whoa. These people are never happy. These independents. They hate Biden. They hate Trump. No, I'm just kidding. Can you make a playlist of your World Trade Center videos? Yeah, I do have a playlist, but it's not updated. Yeah, I could do an updated playlist. But have you seen my playlist? I think it's just titled 9/11. But you're right, I haven't updated it recently. I can just add all the other videos. The problem is, I think when you add videos to a playlist, the videos, for whatever reason, go to the bottom of the playlist. No, they shouldn't. They should go to the top. I don't know. They might go to the bottom. But if I add videos, the videos I add should go to the top of the playlist. Stream Liberation. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That'll be a good one. Liberation Day. That'll be on the that'll be on Wednesday then. No, Thursday? Thursday, I think. Wait, no. Wednesday. Tomorrow's the 31st. So there's 31 days. Yeah, tomorrow's the 31st. Are you getting hit by tornadoes? No, we don't normally, not where I'm located. There's not gonna be, but we do get weird weather, but I don't think it'll happen. But like that's southern Ohio mainly, I think. Independents are really regional. Basically, they're All people who oppose their state's ruling party but don't like the other party enough to join. Yeah. But it always seems like they're angry. But I mean, that's just a general thing. Like if you look at direction of country, the last time the direction of country was in of the positives, I can't even remember. Probably Obama. Like nobody's ever happy. It was close to being positive though under Trump if you look on Real Clear. Zelensky keeps the war going. Maybe more like European NATO countries, honestly. I mean, but Zelensky, what is the payoff for him to keep the war going? He has to be getting orders from those European countries. I mean, his troops are exhausted. What month is your birthday? It's September. So it's not for a while. It's actually basically my half birthday, I think. It marches, yeah. Tornado watch in Columbus, southeastern Ohio. There are so many tornado watches and they never amount to anything. I mean, knock on wood, hopefully that one doesn't either, but you know, they put out a lot of tornado watches this time of year just because the weather is so, the winds, the warmth of it, it just, I used to watch the Weather Channel when I was younger, but they kind of ruined it. I don't watch it. I don't know the last time I looked at the Weather Channel. Yeah, these special elections in Florida should be good. They should be good for the Republican candidates. This one, not so much. You remember seeing an option somewhere to add new videos to the top of the playlist? Yeah, I mean, I could do it. I know you just click on them. It's very easy to add videos to a playlist, but it's just, I don't want them to go to the bottom of the playlist, the new videos that I add to it. That's the issue. But yeah, I could get a pretty epic playlist of 9/11 videos. It might be like 100, 200 videos. I mean, it's like a mass amount, including the iceberg. I mean, most independents just talk nonstop about how they don't care about politics or they don't support any politicians. Yeah, I mean, dude, like I understand the whole idea of not wanting to be beholden to a party because then you have to kind of feel like you have to defend the party, but you really don't. I mean, the thing is I'll shill for Trump, but like, you know, then with the Israel stuff, he loses me. With a few other things where he's just obsessed with reporters, he kind of loses me. There's some other things, you know, but it's like, I feel like it's a lot more advantageous for an individual to just say, well, I'm an independent, and then you can just shift and pivot your views, because at the end of the day, there's going to be some things that the general consensus is the Republicans are right, and there's other things that the general consensus, the liberals are right. And so you can kind of shift yourself if you're an independent. But the thing is, if you're an independent, you know, it's very hard to, you know, I was never an independent, honestly, pretty much ever. And the second I started developing political views, it was right wing. But I mean, when I was younger, I might have been more extreme, honestly. But I might have had an independent phase when I was younger. I don't remember, but it was always more right wing leaning. You would like to see Byron Donalds run as VP in 28, but Wesley Hunt from Texas is a good option. Yeah, VP. I mean, Donalds, you get, you know, what, Donalds with Vance? I don't know, man. I think that it's too early for the VP, but I've heard Donalds thrown around. I've heard, obviously, Rubio thrown around. I've heard Gabbard thrown around. Vivek odds, they're not going to have Vivek odds. It would be a primary. He has to win the primary. add a new video to the top of the playlist, automatically open the playlist on your computer, click on three dots, and then, yeah, I mean, isn't it a joke, though, that this is kind of a joke you have to do that? It should automatically add it to the top. That's the issue. Should automatically do it. Oh, we got the women's Final Four.
Zelensky, by the way, I see he's trying to back out of the rare earth deal. And if he does that, he's got some problems, big problems. We made a deal on rare earth, and now he's saying, well, you know, I want to renegotiate the deal. He wants to be a member of NATO. Well, he was never going to be a member of NATO. He understands that. So if he's looking to renegotiate the deal, he's got big problems. Zelensky, by the way.
He is right. It did come out that Zelensky, and I did a video on this covering it, they want to change the deal because they don't like the amount of access the United States will have to, like, their gas and oil, and they say it's going to affect their sovereignty and their application to join the EU. They're, like, obsessed with joining the EU. But he's saying that, I don't think it's about NATO. I think it's about the EU. Because they know they're not joining NATO. NATO said they're not joining. Like, the head of NATO said it's not going to happen. But, so they want to try and join the EU. They applied in 2022. They were granted candidate status in 2023. And so now Zelensky's like, well, if we give up this mineral deal, it's going to be big problems because the United States is going to have control of all of our resources, so we can't do it. The EU might have told him or something. I disagree. If you're uploading videos as a series, the episode 1 should be at the bottom of the playlist. No, if you're, think about it, episode 1 should be at the top, so when you click on it, episode 1 plays. Well, no, you're right. No, you're right. Episode 1, but I mean, it depends what the context you're talking about. I'm saying if I add things to a playlist, I want the new stuff to be more recently rather than at the end. Why would I want it at the end? The old stuff should be at the end. But look, I understand. We'll have to look into it, and I'll have to look into that. Show the coins. Have you guys gotten this methane blue? Has anyone gotten this and tried it? Is it good? Is it bad? I mean, definitely RFK Jr. was able to help some companies out, that's for sure. There's no doubt about it. NATO pullout needs to be subtle. Looks like the US is sacrificing something. What, pull out, like the United States leaving NATO you're talking about? Gavin Newsom. Yeah, Gavin Newsom is trying to run in 2028. It's obvious. Have not heard from Casey DeSantis lately regarding her run for governor of Florida. Yeah, I think she's going to, and once again it's going to be DeSantis against MAGA. That's kind of the setup. But I mean, we'll take a look at some of these. Really, I mean, this has been another bad day for some of these coins, man. But the thing is I got to make some money in hopefully in trades, and then Super Judge, is that based off of Aaron Judge? Another Grok coin. Send. Oh, this looks like a decent base meme. This reminds me of the Higher coin, but it's a new coin, you can't really trust it. Plus they paid for ads. Buy low. Yes, buy low. Thoughts on all the one seeds being in the Final Four? It's unfortunate. You never want to see that. You never want to see that chalk like that, but it is what it. I mean, you say, well, these are the best teams. I mean, everyone was always talking about how there were the one seeds were so, overpowered this year. Ben Shapiro addressed claims the Daily Wire are going bankrupt. That's certainly not the case. We have extremely big moves that we are looking forward to making this year. Yeah, guys, the Daily Wire is signing me. I forgot to say. I'm kidding. What do you think Trump's last option will be to end the war if all negotiations don't work? Well, we would have to know the context of how the negotiations fall through. I mean, if Putin really wants all of Ukraine, that's going to be a big sticking point. And I think Trump might say, all right, the war is going to continue, but the United States is not involved either way. Maybe he pulls back and it's just a European conflict with the European NATO countries against Russia. That might be what it turns into. Shapiro mad that the right is turning against his Israel shield. Yeah, I know. He's come out and been real pissy too. Shapiro has. We need to focus on China. Well, I mean, I think the United States is already mainly focused on China, honestly. But I mean, when it comes to beating China, we have to be independent of China. That's why there's tariffs on China. We're not going to give up our manufacturing for China because they have slave labor and they produce things that's cheaper. I mean, but again, there's going to be trade-offs. It's not just going to be like, oh, it's so good. I mean, the prices are going to rise. That's the reality of economics. And then hopefully they come back down because of competition. Someone told Elon to end the Fed at his event. Yeah, well, I mean, the Fed does Trump no favors. They've certainly helped liberal candidates. They helped Kamala when they slashed the rates when they shouldn't have back in September. Make quality products. Yeah, I mean, we definitely could make quality products. It just costs more. That's the issue. The bots are coming in and they'll be the ultimate slaves. Yeah, I mean, like the droids and stuff. That's the thing with Optimus. I was looking at there's an Optimus Ethereum coin and an Optimus Solana coin. I was looking at buying those possibly because they're both really down right now. Because there's going to be a return to crypto. All the AI or like AI projects in crypto, it's going to return as long as there's an actual bull market. And with Elon, you can buy into that whole idea. Is YouTube your full-time job? Yeah, man. It is. Is Ron DeSantis' political career over? Probably. I mean, what else is he going to do? Because he's done in 2026. That's why his wife is running. I mean, I don't think he's going to get much bigger than governor of Florida outside of being a VP option for Vance. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Did you not live stream last night? No, I didn't live stream last night, man. Thoughts on Aiden Russ going back to Twitch? Yeah, I mean, dude, how about Hassan bitching about that? It's crazy. The dude literally does an interview with a fucking terrorist on Twitch and they let him stay on and then he's mad at it. What did Aiden Ross even do? I don't even think Aiden Ross did anything. They like banned these guys for nothing. But yeah, I saw that. Would you start your own political party? Ha! Good luck going up against, you know, these two parties. It's crazy, man. There's there's not. I mean, the parties just have too much money in them, and there's too many loyalists. Well, I mean, to be fair, Trump has kind of started his own. Well, not really. He just took the Republican Party and kind of molded it. He didn't start his own. But I mean, the party is basically MAGA now. To be fair to Trump. How's your dating life? My dating life is not great right now. But I mean, you get with these women, and these women are just all liberal. So it's like, oh, I think it's gonna work out too well. What do you think about Rumble? Well, I'm happy Rumble promotes free speech, but I don't like Rumble's interface, so I don't really use it. And I used to upload videos on Rumble, but like I'm happy for Rumble. They promote free speech, and a lot of people that were banned are able to be on there. That's good. And that's basically my opinion of it. Hopefully they get their interface better. I think, you know, they are a competitor to YouTube because they're able to attract the conservatives. But the problem with Rumble is it becomes a conservative just main ecosystem, and no liberals want to go on it. So then it's an echo chamber. Although I guess when it comes to like videos, it doesn't really matter if it's an echo chamber. Because whenever you're on someone's channel, they're always going to have and they're like a bigger channel. The channel itself is basically an echo chamber because all the subscribers are fans of the person anyways. So it's like any like major YouTube channel is just the comments are just going to be an echo chamber unless the creator like does something really bad. Just shows how democracy is a pissing contest between donors. Yeah, it's well, there's just so much money with those two parties, and they've been around forever, so it's like, yeah. Yeah, Hassan's interview with Elon's trans kid. Remember the hair? Oh, the hair. But you know what? The thing is, that was such a good interview. I learned that Tesla was a scam. They told me that Tesla was a scam that produces all the electric vehicles, all the other things Tesla has, the AI, the Grok. It's all a scam. Apparently, it all plays into the evaluation of it. If Rumble gives you a $5 million deal, you'll love their interface. Dude, what are you talking about? Come on. I mean, I'm sure they gave out bigger deals, but if you want a $5 million deal, you probably need like 4 or 5 million subs, honestly. Isn't the average IQ in America 95? No, I thought the average American IQ was like 101. It's like 101 or it's like a 101. It's right around 100. It's not 95, bro. 95 is for an average country IQ. There's no way it's 95. Dude, but this is such a weird thing. Why would they dump on you? Dude, I have YouTube Premium and I love it. I can't deal with YouTube ads. They say when you get YouTube Premium, you never go back. You don't. I mean, YouTube Premium, I endorse it. It's good, guys. YouTube Premium, no ads. I endorse it. Average IQ 80 to 100. Well, that's a big spectrum there. Strange how fat women forgot about body positivity overnight. It was a scam now that they have the weight loss jab they quietly ignore. Yeah, what about Lizzo? Lizzo's the best example of that. Being fat is not good for you. and so it's not attractive. We want people in shape to reproduce with. It's just human biology. So yeah, that never made any sense. It's like all the trans in sports. It's like having biological males compete with females. It doesn't make sense. $100 IQ is defined as an average IQ given country. I think it's based off of the world. 100 is average. YouTube is impossible to deal with all the ads. Premium is the only way. Yeah, I've had premium for a while, but then I didn't have it, and then I got it again like a year ago. It's really good. IQ is kind of a meaningless metric. I mean, what is your argument that, like, well, obviously people that have more access to education are going to be smarter? I think IQ to a degree matters, but obviously there's context within IQs. You can block ads with ad blocker instead. Yeah, but what about on your iPad or through the YouTube app? It's on your iPad or on your. I mean, I know you can block on desktop, but you can't use an ad blocker on an iPhone. Like if you have the app. US average IQ is 98. Is it seriously 98? It's under 100. Getting poor immigrants doesn't help it. Well, no, I know, but I thought it would be. I mean, 100 or 98 it's relatively close, but reciprocal tariffs will be imposed on all countries. Yeah, it is bearish for the markets. People are angry about it, but it's a long-term solution. And Trump, you know how he is with tariffs. Elon Musk having his big event with Brad Schimmel. Do you watch Asmongold you're talking about? No, I mean, I've seen, sometimes I'll see his clips, his short clips on YouTube. I don't have Twitch, though. Vivek wanted uncapped H-1Bs for India. Yeah, well, Vivek did argue that you're right. He did kind of want that because he said that it's a lottery system and he wanted to take the best people from there. But did he want I don't know if he wanted uncapped. I think he just wanted selected based off of. I mean, either way, the H-1B immigration is very bad for American workers. There's no doubt about it. That's why I was against the H-1B debate with Vivek and Trump. I mean, Trump is for H-1Bs because they're easier to handle in terms of it's grunt work. One thing you miss out on the Canadian election is that the Senate is 100 out of 105 senators being Trudeau lifetime appointees, so it doesn't matter who wins. Well, what do they have? How much control do they have in that government? The senators. Vivek will win Ohio, probably. I mean, if Vivek has Trump's endorsement, he's going to win the primary. There was a poll on Vivek with the primary. He was up like 64 to 20%. Second place. Second place at 20%. When are you moving? Probably pretty soon. So yeah, that would be a lull in terms of streaming whenever I do that. Probably like a few days. Do a poll to see if he wins Ohio. Well, a poll on my channel. I mean, it's really meaningless to do a poll on here. These are all Trump, a lot of Trump people and stuff. Yeah, I think you never thought Ohio could get worse. I mean, Ohio's not bad, bro. It's really not. But like this whole idea about certain places, states being bad is kind of it's wherever you live within the state. I mean, obviously there's bad places of Ohio, but I know that's a meme. There's memes based around Ohio. I didn't even know about this until recently, but it's the younger kids who do it. The younger kids, they do memes about Ohio. All legislation has to pass through readings of all legislation before they can be passed, so Senate has a lot of power. Yeah, but dude, honestly, the thing with that is, if even if you want to say that, if Paul Vier wins, I think it would be shocking if anything happened. I mean, for Canada, it might be bad in terms of the control that liberals still have, but like in terms of Alberta, for Alberta to secede, I think it would have to be Carney winning. You need that. Ian Carroll. Dude, Ian Carroll literally said, he's like, I can guarantee something's coming out this weekend on RFK Jr. Well, where is it? See, these people, they get high off their own supply with the Israel grift. But no, I agree. I think Israel's a big problem, but it's like everything. It's just constant Israel stuff. Mark Cuban, has he disappeared? I saw Mark Cuban talking about the Luka Doncic trade, and he was like, "That was not me." But then he sold all of his ownership shares. I don't even think he's a minority owner of the Mavericks anymore. But the last time I heard Mark Cuban was talking about the Luka Doncic trade. How low will Ethereum fall? Hopefully this is. I mean, I can't even predict. Hopefully this is the lowest point. But it's like you keep saying that it's like 1900 right now. Steve Bannon, does he run in 2028? Yeah, he probably will. He'll lose in the primaries. I mean, he wants to just get on the debate stage, I'm sure, if Trump doesn't run. And we do have some lightning here. 90% Bank of America is foreign workers. That can't be true. Trump threatens to bomb Iran if they don't agree. Well, this is what Trump always does. This is what people are talking about. Trump always puts out threats like this. He put out threats like this against Hamas. Nothing happened about the hostages. Yeah, Brooks always does this. They always try and instigate with Trump. They're anti United States, obviously. His Brooks account. Man, I just have these deja vu moments, I swear. It's so weird. I don't know what it is. Alright, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Or this live stream. We will see what happens. I mean, obviously tomorrow we're going to get news because it's a Monday, and we'll have to see what ends up coming out with everything. But yeah, that's basically it. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys later.